Hello everyone, I'm Shine and you're watching Civil Engineering Tips channel. This is the 17th tutorial of Shear Wall Design in ETABS playlist. In this tutorial, we're going to design a spandrel. Spandrels act like beams and they're often called coupling beams or linked beams. They connect in between walls when there is a wall opening due to door or elevator doors. In previous tutorials, we learned how to draw spandrels and how to label them in a proper way. Now they are ready to be designed for some particular load combinations. Before we go for designing spandrels, let's try to know the type of inner reinforcement of spandrel. Shear force is transferred through these spandrels or coupling beams. That's why their reinforcement pattern is little bit different. In this figure, we can see 6 types of rebars in spandrel. The first rebar type is top reinforcement. Minimum 2 rebars are required on top. They are completely straight top rebars placed throughout the spandrel horizontally. Similarly, we have the second rebar in bottom, minimum 2 number of straight rebar. The number of top and bottom rebars varies according to ETABS output. These are longitudinal reinforcement of spandrel. Now let's talk about shear reinforcement of spandrel. 2 types of shear reinforcement is required. One is vertical and another one is horizontal shear reinforcement. It is noticed that a special type of reinforcement which is called diagonal reinforcement should be placed throughout the spandrel. We can see 5th rebar which is diagonal reinforcement. Minimum 4 number of rebar is required here. And finally, we have to provide the diagonal transverse reinforcement. So these are the reinforcement patterns inside the spandrel. We will design a spandrel and extract the output result from ETABS value. So without further ado, let's dive into the main tutorial. This is a ETABS model of B plus G plus 6 storied residential building. We can see shear walls in several locations in red color, but spandrels are available in lift core shear walls only. Let's separate the lift core shear walls first. Let's go to this select option, then hold the cursor on select, then go to properties and go to wall sections and select the wall 10 and click on select and close. Now I am going to give a right click and choose show selected objects only. Thus we can separate the lift core shear walls from whole building, and if we orbit it little bit, then we will get to see spandrels of shear wall here. These small portions are shear walls. We can get a better view if we go to elevation and choose point 3 and click on OK and zoom it little bit, then we can get a proper view of spandrels from elevation. If I select this spandrel and give a right click, we will get some information about this spandrel. Here there is property modifiers, and if I expand it, then we can get the property modifiers applied on these spandrels. And here we can see spandrel. Here it is given S2 and this is the label of this particular spandrel. And here wall meshing options. Here it is auto rectangular mesh. Let's click for cancel option and go to select and hold the cursor on select and go to labels and select spandrel labels, and I'm selecting all the spandrels like this and click on select and close. Now we are going to design our spandrel, and we have already known that we have labeled our spandrel properly, and the main thing you have to know, if you don't label your spandrel, ETABS is not going to design it. Before we go for the design, let's check some parameters. I'm clicking on this arrow and go for view or revise preferences, and here the design code is selected as ACI 31808 as it is relevant with our own building code. And here rebar material, it is rebar. Let's choose it as 60 KSI. and the other parameters will be same, and I'm clicking on OK. Let's go to that option again and click on this option, view or revise spandrel overrides. We got a small window and you can change some parameters that follows your code and your preference. You can change them if it is little bit different from these options. I'm using the compressive strength for shear wall as 3500 psi, so it is given that here. Let's click on OK. We are close to design the spandrels, but before doing that, let's select the design combinations. Go for select design combinations and let's select all the load combination and move it to the right side and click on OK option. Now we can go for start design or check. I am clicking on this option and clicking on this option. If we look at this bar, here it is spandrel longitudinal reinforcing, and longitudinal reinforcing of all the spandrels are being shown, but the numbers are a little bit bigger. Let's make it smaller. Give a right click and go for graphics preferences and click here and change it to 8 and click on OK. Or you can zoom it little bit like that and you can understand the values. Here we can see 4 number of values: top left and top right, bottom left and bottom right. If there is no values shown and overstrace or n/a is being shown, then you have to increase the thickness of the wall. But here it is completely fine. They are giving us some reinforcement values here. If we give a right click on this spandrel, a design report will be generated. Let's make it to fit with option, and here we can see the spandrel flexural top reinforcement and spandrel flexural bottom reinforcement. If I move the window little bit on the left side, then we can see that this report is showing us the similar values: 0.5102 and 0.5269 for top, and same for the bottom reinforcement values. Let's extract the top reinforcement first. Maximum reinforcement of top is 0.5269, so 2 number of 16 mm bar will satisfy the demand. Similarly, the maximum bottom reinforcement is 0.5229. So in this case, 2 numbers of 16 mm straight bar will be enough longitudinally. Now let's talk about the shear reinforcement. Here we can see 2 types of shear reinforcement. Here it is written spandrel shear design, and here 2 types of shear design is available. Let's zoom it little bit more. I'm choosing 400%, and here we can see 2 types of shear reinforcement. One is vertical shear reinforcement and another one is horizontal shear reinforcement. Or you can get shear reinforcement from display design info also. I am clicking here and choosing display design info, and I am choosing spandrel shear reinforcing and clicking on OK. Let's zoom it little bit. Vertical shear reinforcement is shown above the line and horizontal shear reinforcement is shown below the line. Now let's extract the reinforcement or reverse from these values. The value of vertical shear reinforcement shown by ETABS was 0.3. I am typing here 0.3 inch square, and the number of leg it will be 2, and let's choose the dia. I am choosing it as 10 mm, and here we can see that the spacing of the vertical shear reinforcement is 9.74. Similarly, the horizontal shear reinforcement value was 0.18. I am typing here 0.18 and giving the number of leg as 2 and choosing the dia as 10 mm. And here the spacing is much more and it is 16.23 inch. So from this Excel file we can extract top and bottom longitudinal bar of spandrels, vertical shear reinforcement of spandrels. At the same time we can extract the horizontal shear reinforcement for spandrels. And finally we have to get the diagonal reinforcement of spandrel. Let's get the value shown in ETABS. Just give a right click on this particular spandrel and zoom it a little bit, and here you can see the spandrel shear design diagonal reinforcement, and here the maximum value is 0.638. So if I choose 16 mm bar and the minimum number of diagonal longitudinal reinforcement is 4. I am just trying it for 4 initially, and the total reinforcement we get, it is 1.24, that is much larger than 0.638. so let's choose 12 rebar, and it is exactly as the ETABS value. So 4 number of 12 rebar will be enough for diagonal longitudinal reinforcement. This is how we can get the reinforcement of spandrels from ETABS. This is all for today. If you have a question, then please write in the comment section. Till then, stay happy, stay safe. See you in the next tutorial.